Over the last year, this really has become a very well used item in my personal leatherwork. And in today's video, I want to show you 2 simple ways to keep yours sharp. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tarek. I've been a full-time artisan for many years, and my work in both leather and knives has gone around the world. And this channel is all about those little tips and tricks that will hopefully help you along in your own making journey. So over the years, I've sharpened thousands of knives, but I've also been able to teach a lot of people sharpening techniques. So if you do have one of the replacement blades that I make, I'm going to show you 2 very simple ways to keep yours sharp. So the simplest and easiest way to keep your blade sharp is to simply maintain it while using it by using a strop. So I use a piece of vegetable tanned leather, and on the backside I put a polishing compound onto it. This over here is Brownells 555 black. I've used many different polishing compounds over the years. They all work relatively the same. Okay, so what I want to do quickly is I want to come over to your side of the table, and I just want to show you why stropping is so important. This line is this line over here on the edge of the blade. I'm using the Japanese style knife that I make purely because it's just a little bit visually easier to see it. It's a larger knife than the little blade. So this is what a perfectly sharpened knife edge will look like under magnification. So this line over here, when it's perfectly sharpened, will be a nice smooth edge. But when you start cutting with any blade, the abrasion from the thing that you're cutting, so for example when you're cutting leather, it's quite an abrasive item, it starts to at a microscopic level wear down the edge of a blade. So what that means is, as you start cutting your leather, the edge starts microscopically working to a slight serration. So what happens is, every time that you take your blade and you put it onto a strop, it takes these little microscopic serrations and it smooths them out. So let me show you the correct angle for stropping your blade. A quick easy way to check the angle that you should be stropping your blade at: use your piece of granite, marble or glass, the thing that you scarve on top of, put your blade on top of it and rock down until you reach the cutting edge. And that way, when it reaches the cutting edge, it'll give you a stopping point. So I know that angle where my hand is sitting now, I'm touching the cutting edge. So when I'm stropping, because of the way leather compresses, I generally take that just a little bit off of the edge, and that'll be the position that I strop at. So while I'm busy working on a project, after several cuts, I'll pull out my strop and I'll just give it a few pulls on the edge side. So just several pulls on the edge side, and then on the back side, I'll just pull it through once or twice. So stropping works really well, but at some point you're going to have to get that blade onto either a stone or a piece of sandpaper, and here's why. So the edge that's sharpened, there's the edge that's sharpened, and just like I explained just now, with these micro serrations being smoothed out with the strop, what happens over a period of time with this happening on the edge of your knife, the strop starts to wear away the front of your edge, making this a much thicker edge and slowing the precision of your cutting. So when you get this back onto a stone or a piece of sandpaper, I'll show you both methods, what it does is it takes this complete edge, so it'll take that complete edge down to a perfect apex again. So just as another visual so you can see it on a knife that's a little bit bigger, this edge over here would be this edge coming down over here. This edge is exactly the same as the Japanese style knife, so it'll be the same sharpening procedure. But this is why we need to put that onto a stone or a piece of paper. So today I'm going to be using my whetstone, but if you don't have a whetstone, get yourself a piece of 1000 grit sandpaper, cut into strips. If you're new to sharpening, a nice easy trick to make sure that you're getting the angle that's already on your knife is to take a black permanent marker and just mark that edge. So that way when you put it down onto the stone or your piece of sandpaper, you'll know exactly what angle you're at. Okay, so there I can see that the angle that I was sharpening at was too low because the permanent marker is coming off the top edge of the blade. If I was attacking too steep, it would be coming off right on the edge. So I can adjust my edge just by using the visual. So I don't want to get too technical with this video, so I'll say that I sharpen this edge at 18 degrees, but this is a very forgiving little blade and works from anything between 15 and 25 degrees. So when you are sharpening, that gives you quite a lot of variation to move between, and the blade will still work for you. If you do want something a lot more technical, I actually do have a video on sharpening on my channel. I'll link to it at the bottom of the page. So when you're sharpening a blade, there's only one thing that you're trying to do, and that's create a burr. So let's go up to the knife workshop upstairs, and I'm going to show you what that is. So this little shiny spot right at the edge of this piece of steel is what's called a burr, and this is what you're working to get when you're sharpening your blade. While I'm sharpening, I'm constantly checking the edge to feel for the consistency of this burr. If there are sort of dead spots where the burr isn't to be found, I keep it on the stone, and once that burr is over the complete edge, that's when I take it off the stone and I know that it's ready to break that burr. So that burr has come completely across the length of the edge. I can feel it here in my fingertips. So that now is ready to get onto the strop. Well, I'll break that burr off. So guys, while I'm stropping over here to break the burr, I'm going several times on the side that we've just used on the stone, and then I'll pull it on the flat side several times, and I'm just checking for that burr to be completely off, a little bit on the back end there. So that has now become a razor sharp knife. Maybe I should leave some hairs on my arm at some point. But there you can see, razor sharp. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found some value out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up below. And do remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to continue seeing more videos from me. And leave me a comment, I do love reading them. See you on the next video.